Everybody, welcome to Beyond the Bell. I'm Andrew Zarian. I'm joined by a remote Rich Stambolian. What's going on, Rich?
I am the most remote.
There you are.
I'm on a different planet. There we go. I'm on a different planet today. How about you? How are you doing?
I am doing great. Big weekend for professional wrestling. Big weekend for AEW. Our producer, MG, I'm going to task you with something right now. You are going to have to do all the switching, and you're going to have to listen, and you're going to have to pay attention, and you're going to have to hit the buttons perfectly. All right? So let's do this. Go to Rich. Switch to Rich right now. There you go. Now back to me. There you go. Okay, thank you.
He did it.
All right.
He did it.
His fingers are working
today. That's a big no for me, dog.
His fingers are working.
His fingers are saying.
Oh, man. We are doing the show remote. I am headed to the U.S. Open after this.
Yeah, you got a couple of matches today.
I got a couple matches. I'm playing one of these. I'm going to do one of those.
Can you explain tennis scoring to me? Because I have zero concept of what that's all about.
There's no rhyme or reason. They just make up the numbers, right? That's how it works. So sometimes it's 15, sometimes it's 45, sometimes it's 30, sometimes it's 0.
Yeah.
They just make it up as they go along. Isn't that how it works?
I have no idea. That's why I asked you. Like, because it's like 15 love. There's a love in there somewhere.
I'm also getting sick. That's also a problem I have.
Well, you got that boat nastiness in you.
Dude, I was on a cruise. I have to tell you, they're disgusting, cruises. All right?
They're
They're
boat
gross.
germs.
They're gross.
What, cruises?
Yeah, gross.
When was the last time you went on a cruise?
2007.
Ooh, wow. So like almost 20 years ago.
Almost 20 years ago. Yeah, they're gross.
Jeez.
I'm not a fan of them.
You had a nice room, though.
I did it. I had a beautiful room. I got a suite. It was beautiful, but too many people. Too many. I saw how the world really is. A lot of grossness.
I really thought you were going to jump off the boat because at one point, we'll peel the curtain back a little bit. At one point, I'm getting texts from this guy on his cruise going, I can't deal with this anymore. This is where I am. And you were at like the top of the ship. And I was like,
yeah, this is
man,
it.
I wonder if he's tempted to do the old big sploosh.
I was going to go swimming with the sharks. But it was a good time. It was a lot of fun. Let's talk about All In. Big weekend for professional wrestling. I thought it was a really good show. I enjoyed all of it.
Oh, yeah. Top to bottom, really fantastic pro wrestling show, especially when you add in that 0 hour.
You know, it was long, that they had a 2-hour pre-show, which you saw them changing. So it felt like a big sport feel. They did it properly. I thought a lot of production advances this year over last. Some issues, but you could see the changes happening. The crowd was hot. They enjoyed everything. 55,000 people probably in that building. Last year, I don't even know what that number was anymore. It's been revised a few times, but let's say 75. Let's say 80.
Yeah.
A lot of criticism online about, look, they couldn't even draw. They're 30,000 people less. And I keep, and first of all, yeah, who cares? But do we not remember that 5 years ago, the task of having 10,000 people in a building for a professional wrestling show was unheard of? It was not happening. Prior to that,
show.
I mean, the last time we had anybody that in North America, I mean, listen, granted, this is not North America, right? We're in the UK. But for somebody outside of WWE to draw like this has never happened. It has never happened in the history of wrestling. You could talk about some stuff that WCW did. You could talk about some stuff that World Class did, but never to this level. Nobody has ever been able to do it to this level. And, you got to give them kudos on this. And
absolutely.
It's fascinating to me that people, and also, what are you doing? Are you watching to see curtained off sections, or are you watching to see wrestling? You got to pick it.
I think people love to hate watch, and it's an unfortunate byproduct of the pro wrestling business is, for every one positive thing, and you've been on the receiving end of this, for every one positive thing somebody says or mentions, 45 people will come out of the woodwork and poo-poo the thing that you just said, or the stats, or listen, I watched the show. What a great show. What a great time. The last thing on my mind was, oh, look at those empty seats up there.
Listen, but everybody views it differently,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm also getting sick here, so it's been very difficult to talk the last 2 days. I would feel like watching this. Why am I concentrating on the negativity? Do I like this? Do I want to watch it? Why I don't subscribe to hate watching. I don't have enough time in my day. To commit 4 or 5 hours to a wrestling show is a lot of ask for me, even though I absolutely love professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And I think it's a big ask for a lot of people. I'm not going to waste 5 hours on a Sunday when I could be doing everything else to hate watch something. Same goes for WWE, same goes for AEW. I love pro wrestling. You love pro wrestling, and that's why you watch it. That's why we talk about it for free.
Yeah.
I'm ranting a little bit because I haven't done a show in a couple of weeks, but
not only
I got all that boat anger.
Not only are we doing it for free, we're doing it for free twice a week.
Twice a week.
You're doing it more.
I do it 4 times. I mean, listen, I for full disclosure, I make a couple bucks, but guess where that money goes?
Right.
To my producers. I don't make profit from this. I choose not to. I don't want to make money from this because this is fun.
We're in the red. We're in the red.
We're hemorrhaging money. We're hemorrhaging money here.
Way in the red.
But, I went it's so fascinating because, I post a very simple thing. Mm-hmm. The greatest of all time. I posted a picture of Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
Okay? That man, in my opinion, is the greatest pro wrestler alive. He is.
Guess what?
And you know what? That doesn't mean that Ric Flair isn't the greatest of all time. That doesn't mean Hulk Hogan isn't the greatest of all time. That doesn't mean Steve Austin is. He's a very different cat. And right. I take great enjoyment out of watching that man perform. He is my favorite guy to see wrestle.
Yeah.
It became a whole discourse. You're out of your mind. You're telling me he's better than this. Yeah. Nuts. Who's your favorite of all time? Do you have one? Who's your greatest of all time?
I have a list. It's an ever-changing, rotating.
It's an ever-changing list
because it's subjective. You know what I mean? Like, catch me on a Thursday and I'll say, "Oh, Eddie Guerrero was the best of all time."
Sure, yeah.
Catch me on like another day, I'll be like, that Ric Flair fella, he's got something. But Danielson is the modern GOAT.
Rich, I was at the Garden, 1991 SummerSlam.
Oh yeah.
And I'm next to Stu Hart, and I look at him like, "See, you see that kid in the ring right there?" And I point at Brett, and I'm 6, and I go, "That kid's got it. He has it." And I gave him a wink, and I tipped my hat to him. I was also smoking a cigar.
I was gonna say, like, you lit up a cigar. Back then, it was okay for 6-year-olds to smoke cigars.
Oh yeah. At the Garden, you had to. 6-year-olds had to smoke cigarettes at the Garden.
They give them to you at the door.
Here you go, kid. Light it up at the main event. Let's talk about this. Let's go into the show. MG, is there? Oh, let's talk about Sid actually before we go into this. Sid.
R.I.P.
Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, Sycho Sid passed away. His son made an announcement yesterday at 63 years old. He was battling cancer, and he has passed away. What a look. What a force.
Yeah.
The first memory I have of Sid is my grandmother bought me the toy. Like, do you remember the WCW action figures that didn't move?
Yes.
They were like this?
Yeah.
Or like this? She got me like a bunch of them, and she got me the Steiners, she got me Ric Flair, and she got me Sid. And I was like, "Oh, this guy's big. Who is he?" And he came to WWE, and that was a big part of it. Fascinating guy. Just what a look. Nobody looks like that. Still
intense. Yeah.
Intense. Yeah, the Remco toys. There you go. Chris Reed in our chat room. Remco.
Yeah, the Remco toys.
Yeah. What was your memory of Sid?
It's funny, like, my memory is juxtaposed to when you see Sid on TV, you're absolutely terrified by the guy, right? And then I remember some wrestling magazine where it had a shot of him just, like, smiling, and I was like, oh, that's so funny. The presentation is everything, right?
Yeah.
Where, like, this dude had $1 million smile, but when you see the guy on TV, man, he looked insane, like completely insane.
Yeah, really, really something. Best wishes go to the family, obviously.
Yeah.
Always sad to hear someone passing away, especially at 63 years old, very young, too young to pass away. I want everybody living till 300.
Oh, same.
I don't want to see people, it's very sad. His son was in Big Brother, right? Wasn't that?
I don't know. I never watched it.
I think he was. All right, let's go into this show. I want to talk about All In because this is this is a very important show for the company. This is the beginning of the series of big announcements. Obviously, they announced this show. They announced that they're going to be in Texas in 2025, going back to Wembley in 2026, Forbidden Doors in London. They're doing Australia in February for Grand Slam. A lot of announcements this weekend. You pick where you want to go.
We might as well start at the top because it was a long and packed show. And that 0 hour, man, that 0 hour usually delivers for AEW, and this was no different. You had RJ City, Renee Paquette, and Jeff Jarrett on the panel. Jarrett's doing a lot of work, and I love seeing that guy on TV, regardless of what capacity. Tommy Billington, Kip Sabian, Rocky Romero, Kyle Fletcher, Action Andretti, Leo Rush, Top Flight versus Jay Lethal, Santam Singh, Arya Davari, Anthony Gogo, Private Party, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds. What was it? The 16-man tag to open the show. Classic New Japan booking. Get everybody on the show at the first hour of the show.
Yeah, so, you want to get these guys. There were a lot of talent that were off last year. They weren't on the show. And, treat this like a WrestleMania. Get everybody that payday. I don't know if they do a rev split. I don't know if they have an appearance fee or how they're doing it. It was good to see everybody on it. Just how many they had that match, and then they had that 15-man match or 10-man match after this. What do you think of Tommy Billington?
Yeah, he's great. I think he put on a little more size since we last saw him on AEW television. I'm with it, man. I'm with it. I'm with the moveset. I'm with the homage to his uncle. I think he's great. Do you think he should be profiled more?
I want to see what he's very small, and that's gonna affect him. That match with Jericho that he had, where was it? It was it on Dynamite, MG, or was it on Collision?
Which one?
The Tommy Billington Jericho match.
Gosh, I think it was on Collision.
Collision? Because I watched it all on the same day. Shh, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone.
You did
I was on a boat, remember? And I had a
I
had a naughty link sent to me so I could see it.
Oh yeah. Were you just on the water slide on the boat, just watching wrestling?
Yeah, I was on the pretty much. Yeah. John, our other producer, is attempting to fix our side-by-side shot, but it seems like something is broken here, and it will not. Oh, there's Rich. Okay, something broke. He's fixing it. Okay, big hello. I like seeing these guys. Kip Sabian got a big pop. Obviously, Rocky Romero, Kyle Fletcher's a total stud now. Anthony Ogogo, long time we haven't seen him. He was in this. It was fun. It was a fun match.
It was a lot of fun. You had a nice spot between Santam Singh and Leo Rush.
Yeah, that was a big spot. You know what? I kind of want to see that match now.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the thing. You mentioned Tommy Billington being a small guy, whereas Leo Rush is a small guy. He's arguably the smallest guy, but he's also the biggest guy.
Yeah, exactly. Willa Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii defeated Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. Stokely's great.
Oh, yeah.
This was far more fun than I thought it would be. This is leading up to Willow and Chris at All Out. And again, good way to get everybody on the card. It was a lot of fun. We also got Tony Schiavone on the ramp. He welcomed Tony Khan and Dr. Martha Hart, who wished the Owen Hart Foundation Cup winners good luck. Okay, it was what it was. Again, pre-show. Yeah. This was cool, okay? Now this
Very
match.
Cool.
All right?
Yeah.
Dustin Rhodes as Deadpool.
Yep.
Sammy Guevara as Wolverine. You had Shibata, Ross and Marshall Von Erich. They defeated Mike Bennett, Matt Taven, Brian Cage as another Wolverine variant.
Bro.
Bishop Khan and Toa Leona.
How funny is that? Do you think there was a conversation backstage where somebody was like, bro, you Wolverine, but I'm Wolverine?
I think they did it like, at first I saw it and I made the joke. I'm like, why are there two Wolverine variants? Like, I don't know. Obviously, it was a play on the Deadpool movie and all the Wolverines in that movie, but I thought it was a fun match. Dustin looks great, man. It's so nice to see him. You know, and he's double champion.
Mm-hmm. How interesting is that?
That's very interesting. I like that he's getting this little run at the end of his career. Saraya came out to the stage with Harley Cameron and the entire Knight family. Awesome. This led to Jamie Hayter returning to a massive reaction. She looked like $1 million freaking bucks.
Oh, yeah.
She looked incredible. Very talented. I like that they're going to emphasize. And she looked, I mean, totally toned and you know, the hair looked great. The outfit looked great. Yeah. Very cool to see her back. And they did something fascinating here at the end of 0 Hour that I got a kick out of, okay?
Yeah.
So the timer's happening, and there's like 6 minutes and 50 seconds left before this match is going to happen. And they start the match, the opening match of All In with all the entrances on 0 Hour, and it leads right into the main show.
Yeah.
Very much like this.
It was very interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was a good way to do it. You had Pac, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta defeating the Patriarchy, the Bang Bang Gang with Juice Robinson, Austin, and Colton Gunn, and the House of Black in the London ladder match to win the AEW Trios title. This was a car crash, right? That's pretty much what this was.
Yeah, but it was a fun car crash. I feel like there were a few missed spots, but who cares? You know, like you like seeing these guys all together. You know, like this is a good wow, look at how much talent we have on this roster.
Yeah, I like, these are all great guys. The story was that Christian wanted to get the titles himself instead of Killswitch. They're still leading that story that, he has a problem with Killswitch. This is going to play in the end also in another match here. Very interesting. Mariah May defeated Toni Storm with Luther. What did you think of this?
Oh, I loved it. I love Toni Storm. I also want her, if she takes time off, which I think she needs some time off, she's been really going at it for the last year and a half. I want her to come back as time traveling Toni Storm.
Oh, you know what? What is she? Like a spaceman?
She's from the future somehow. And it kind of like timelessness Toni Storm, where she's stuck in different eras.
Oh my God. So she becomes like a flapper from the 20s.
Yeah,
and she becomes a hippie.
Star Trek.
Then she's a Star Trek. Yeah. And then like a caveman.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of into this. 80s Toni Storm.
Oh,
timeless.
And then she comes out with the little thing and the baseball hat.
She should steal the DeLorean from the Time Splitters.
I would love that too.
They're space people, right?
Mm-hmm. They're Back to the Futures. I think. Oh, look at that! We got our camera working. Ooh, look at that!
There we go. Now I'm back to normal. Our wonderful producer John, the greatest of all time.
Yeah. Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
Sorry, MG. He threw you under the bus on that one.
Yeah, he said that you sucked. Sorry.
I already know.
Thank you. All right, I'm muting him now. Now I could concentrate. I like this match. Mariah May looked great. She slapped her own mom. Big spot there. She was bleeding. Toni couldn't bring herself to use the shoe, which led to the ending. And Toni was dancing out of the ring. Did you see her out of the arena? She's doing the dance out of the whole building. Very good stuff.
It was fantastic. Really, really fun. Really quality match. What a more. There's no more a deserving champion than Mariah May, I think. That just the build over the last few months has been absolutely tremendous.
Well, that women's division now, the women's division in AEW is tremendous. With Jamie Hayter returning, with Mercedes Moné, with Britt Baker returning, with, I hope Saraya does some good stuff there. Her contract should be ending soon, right?
Yeah.
But you have such great talent there. Camille. They've built this. It's a very different company for the women's division, and I think it's very needed. I think it's necessary for them. Very much like it. Where are we now? I lost my
Hook. They gave Hook the flatline Taz entrance.
They did, and I thought right? they were gonna play the song. Why didn't they do it?
Nah, they got it. I like the homage. And I was like, oh shit, that popped me like big time as an old school ECW guy. So Hook defeated Chris Jericho with Big Bill and Brian Keith to win back the FTW title for the third time. I like this match a lot. For some reason, this really did it for me.
I like Hook a lot. I'm a fan of his. Yeah. He's a good Long Island boy.
Yeah, same.
You know, I think he has something. You know, he has something there. He's not. Oh God, my computer's screaming at me. I like him, and I like the FTW title still being represented. I know that we got a weird question in the scrum that caused controversy, and the guy actually apologized about it to Taz because he almost. God, do you have it in front of you? If the chat has it, I think he was like essentially alluding that it's a joke title.
Oh.
And Tony got mad. Like, Tony just ran down the entire lineage of the FTW title and how important it is. And, you know, it was... Taz got upset, but he understood. He was like, listen, you misspoke. You know, so...
Yeah. That's smart, though. You know, like...
I'm like, oh, good. Another person got yelled at by Taz, and not me.
As long as you're not getting yelled at by Taz.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah.
I think he just yelled at everybody at one point.
I've continued my life's goal of constantly getting yelled at by former ECW wrestlers. Bubba Ray Dudley is yelled at me. Taz has yelled at me multiple times. 14-year-old me got terrified when Taz yelled at me because some kids were playing like roughhousing in the line to meet him. Mm-hmm. And I was like just standing there, and he came out and goes, "Can you fucking stop it?" Something like that. I forgot what it was. And then he yelled at us about a T-shirt design that he thought it was too similar to him because we had the same guy that make our T-shirts. Stevie Richards has yelled at me, and I get yelled at by Lance Storm every single Sunday.
Every single week. Just don't say Shawn Michaels.
I cannot say Shawn Michaels. Mikey's. He did not like that joke.
Denies your Shawn Michaels joke.
I did call Lance Archer Lance Storm, and he got a kick out of that one.
Yeah. This was fun, man. Hook, I feel like, put all the titles on Hook.
Dude, he's fun. I like him. Yeah. He's different. Young Bucks defeated the Acclaimed and FTR. It was all right. It was fine.
I do like the setup because you had the grizzled young vets come out, James Drake and Zach Gibson at the end, which they had a nice pop because they're from Liverpool. Good stare down with the Bucks. I think that's cool. Like the Bucks are such an interesting anomaly. And
people either love them or hate them.
People either love them or hate them, but they are so good at what they do, and they are so good at flipping that switch when they need to. So like you could easily have babyface Young Bucks and they'll be the most over in the company. Or you could have heel Young Bucks and they'll be the most hated in the company.
Yeah. Listen, they're very talented. But I do understand the is it that people are tired of the Bucks? Is it that they're tired of the Bucks not doing what they want? This is a different character for them. They're not. It's a very different gimmick for them, and they're evolving. They're attempting to evolve, and they're in a different position here. I don't mind it at all. I think it's fine. I just want to see them wrestle. They really haven't wrestled, and hopefully they're healthy and they can continue doing it. The Casino Gauntlet. Let's talk about this. This was fun.
Yes.
Christian won the Gauntlet. Okay. I thought this was a ton of fun. I was shocked that Christian won. So you had Orange Cassidy, you had Okada, you had Nigel McGuinness.
My God.
Return, and he looked like $1 million. He did all of his best ofs.
Yep.
Kyle O'Reilly, Zack Sabre Jr., Roderick Strong, Mark Briscoe, Hangman Page, and he looks insane. Hangman.
Oh, I love it.
I posted when he came out during the Danielson match. I was like, "What is Billy from Stranger Things doing here?"
Strange Things.
Hangman Page looks gnarly. Jeff Jarrett, Pop of the Night. He looks.
Good.
Put the title on him. I want to see him with the title. I don't care anymore. You know what?
Have a feud with Hook.
Have a feud with Hook for the FTW title.
Mm-hmm.
You had the debut of Ricochet. Sorry, my in-ear is terrible today. This thing is constantly falling.
Debut.
Ricochet showed up. He looked great. Christian Cage, obviously, and Luchasaurus. It looked like Luchasaurus was going to attack Christian.
Mm-hmm.
But it was another swerve, and he would help Christian pin Kyle O'Reilly.
This was so much fun that I watched it twice. I watched it when it aired, and I watched it when the show was over, because it was over so nice and early. I rewound the feed and watched this again. I feel like this was like, for me personally, I felt like this was such a love letter to pro wrestling.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I just don't think Christian should have won it. We'll find out where this heads to, where this goes, and how they do this, but Christian's not going to be the spoiler for Bryan Danielson, I'll tell you that.
No.
He's not going. Yeah, go ahead.
Who would you have wanted to win?
In that mix?
Yeah.
Let me look here. Dude, Hangman or Jeff Jarrett?
I would have gone Nigel. I would have loved Nigel, but I feel like that would have been too easy. Nigel McGuinness, Hangman, and I would say, you know what would have been super interesting? Zack Sabre Jr. like coming off his G1 win and then winning this.
You know, it's interesting because you look at this, right? Mm-hmm. Almost every single person here is someone that you would want to see Danielson have a great match with.
Absolutely.
You know, like if you look at this lineup, it's almost every single one of them. I thought the guys in the match were proper. I liked it. I just think that they could have. I'm not thrilled about the Christian win, but we're gonna see where that goes because I don't know the creative there. So it could be something great or it could be something terrible. It could lead to Adam Copeland returning and doing something. I don't know. I don't know where this is gonna head to. So Will Osprey. MJF, what a match. Will Osprey came out with a great intro. Assassin's Creed, I guess, sponsored the entrance. He is so good, and MJF is so fantastic. What a great heel. Did you like the 60-minute, or did you like this one better?
I enjoyed this one a lot more. I cringed every single time they did a high on the neck AJPW style move.
Oh my god!
A lot
of
neck
drivers,
spots.
The tombstones.
Yeah, a lot of neck spots in this, and I was like, oh no. I really enjoyed it, and I did like the fact that he waved off the title and got his title, like the Intercontinental title, back.
Yeah, the Intercontinental title is back, yeah. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was a great match. We also got Mercedes Moné defeating Dr. Britt Baker to retain the title. You know, I don't know if it was the placement of this or what, because the crowd was dead. And it wasn't a bad match. Like,
no.
Listen, I watched it like everybody else, and I watched it like a fan because I was not distracted. I wasn't doing a watch along. I was sitting on my couch by myself watching this. And
yeah,
I thought it was fine. Could Britt have had a couple more matches prior to this? Yeah, I think she could have, but
yeah,
it was a fine match. I just think that the crowd, the placement of this was really dead.
I agree with you, but I think and I don't want to catch any poop for this, but I do think they could have pulled a page out of the WWE book and have, right before this match, do a comedy promo segment.
To slow things down a little bit.
To slow things down a little bit, let the crowd take a breath, let the crowd go to the bathroom, and then, oh, cool, there's a comedy promo bit between so-and-so and so-and-so. Like anybody, you know? Like RJ City and Orange Cassidy, great.
But then they ended the show like 5 o'clock on the dot.
Oh yeah,
like they ended that show. They're like, all right, we got to go. I don't know if it was like the timing and the way that. I'm sorry, what is that, MG?
Apparently, they had a hard out.
They had a hard out.
Off the air. Yeah.
Yeah.
You actually.
They had a curfew. Okay. I don't know if that played a part. I don't think it was a bad match. I think it was just the placement and what we had seen prior. You know, you're going from Will Ospreay MJF into this, and the crowd was, you know, very invested. Could have been timing, could have been placement, whatever. But Mercedes won. Yeah. I don't think that's the end of this program. I think they'll continue something.
No.
I want to see what Camille does now. She's fantastic. Outfits look great. The intros look great. Everything was fine. Mm-hmm. Jack Perry defeated Darby Allin for the TNT title in a coffin match.
Great.
Jack Perry won, and after the match, Sting returned to save Darby. He came out to Metallica.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Very cool. it was great. It was good to see Sting back, and now we're at the main event.
Yeah, that was a fun match. I gotta say, like that was a really fun match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, and it was short. It was very quick, and I guess they ran out of time here because they needed to give this some time. Bryan Danielson defeated Swerve Strickland to win the AEW World Title. You know, this is something that we've spoken about for years, that AEW, there's so many people there that don't want the title. You know, we saw that with the Bucks initially. We saw that with Cody. We saw that with Kenny Omega. We saw that with Bryan Danielson. And I think, to be honest, a little bit of a detriment to the brand when your top guys don't want to be the man. They want to give other people an opportunity. It's bizarrely unselfish of them, but it plays a big part. This is a company that is heading into a new TV deal. This is a company that is attempting to do stadiums now, multiple. You need to have a guy that is recognizable to a crossover audience as your champion. And if there was anybody in that company that has crossover appeal to a casual viewer that has not really tuned into wrestling in the last 10 years, Bryan Danielson is one of those. They had CM Punk.
Absolutely.
He was obviously the guy, but Bryan Danielson is the closest thing you have to that.
Yep.
Best move to do, putting the title on Danielson now that he's at the end. Is this going to be a long run? I don't think so. But man, what a match, and you got to give it to Swerve.
Oh, yeah. Swerve's run, I feel like, should have been longer, but the timing of Danielson's win was pretty perfect considering the retirement.
Yeah, I you know, he's still adamant that he never wanted the title, which is interesting.
That reverse Montreal, dude.
I really wanted them to do it. I really wanted them to just shut the lights and run out of the room. I'm curious to see where this goes now because he has a number of opponents. Obviously, Grand Slam is a big show here in Queens in a couple of weeks. You have All Out happening. You also have the show in Seattle.
Yeah.
Wrestle Dream happening. World's End.
I'm excited for being spoiled that we're going to be going to Grand Slam next month, and Danielson's probably going to headline.
Yeah, he's a champion.
Yeah.
I mean, great. I really can't wait for that. I wonder if it's going to help with the ticket sales a little bit because this has been struggling.
I would hope so.
Artie Ashe Stadium.
You would think so at Artie Ashe.
So Danielson won. Great match. Fantastic match. You did see Hangman playing a part in this.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, that's going to be part of the story that he was so... And he's crazy looking.
I love pissed off, angry Hangman.
Oh, he looks insane. Hangman looks like a nut job now. Which fantastic. Great stuff.
Yeah. He's a bad boy now. He's a bad boy. He tried to murder Jeff Jarrett's wife.
He tried to murder Jeff Jarrett's wife. Yeah. He's crazy. He's a nutty guy. Media highlights, Mariah May did a eulogy for Tony Storm. Bryan Danielson said that he hasn't decided on his future just yet and will likely make some sort of announcement this Wednesday. Dave with the question of the night. He tried to trick Birdie into letting her dad wrestle longer by offering her a trip to Australia. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Dave was like, he's like, do you want to go to Australia? Do you want to go to Japan? I thought it was well done. Also, Osprey popped to see Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, that was fun.
Fun stuff. Overall, man, great show. I'm looking forward to what they do on Wednesday with this.
Yeah.
You know, because they're laying it out.
I think it really reignited a fire that needed to happen. You know, like everything, a lot of good stuff came out of the show. A lot of progressions of the storylines. You know, like wrestling's fun, dude. Like wrestling is fun. Like stuff like this makes you be like, this is the best. You know, do you want to? You have to be out of here in 10 minutes.
I got to be out of here in about 12 minutes.
Okay. Do you want to start with questions? We got a couple of supers.
Yeah, you know what? Let's go into questions. Do you want to read them? I can't get them on the screen, but we could read them, guys. And I really, really appreciate the super chats.
So, Chi-Town Spurs, thank you. His question, or their question, felt like a lot of stuff was on the pre-show or rushed because they had a hard curfew right at 10.
I wish I knew that they had a hard curfew at 10. I asked number of people because I had to record a show afterwards that I couldn't get going to do it live.
Yeah.
But if I had known that this had a hard out at 5, I could have probably pre-recorded and sent it to the radio station. I like that they had a hard out. I like that it was a quick-paced show. Yeah, some stuff felt rushed, but I would take this way over a marathon of a show. Because if you think about it, if it's 10 p.m., right? If this descended 10 o'clock UK time.
Yeah.
London time. That's what they call it over there. It's London time.
London time.
I thought it was fine. Was it rushed? Sure. Could they have done something else? Sure. But I felt that it was done well.
It was jam-packed, let's say that.
What do you guys rank it? Give me like a number, 1 out of 5. You know, give me your star rating overall for the show. What do you place it at?
Can we do out of 10? I'll give it out of 10.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
You give it a 9. I thought it was fun. It was a fun show.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I was very satisfied, but a lot of factors went into it. You know, I had a couple of people over that I hadn't seen in a while. We had a couple of drinks. We had some food. You know what I mean? Like, so the way you're watching it kind of helps it. And I think it was, and these are not wrestling fans at all, but they enjoyed it.
I like wrestling, and I like different wrestling, and I don't like one style. I like different styles. So for me, this was a lot of fun. I got to see, you know, guys that I'm invested in, doing some cool stuff. That's how I see it.
We got another super chat here from I Touch Squirrels.
Oh, wonderful. Great name.
SRS mentioned a few weeks back that Danielson is legitimately injured. How long do you see his title reign lasting? Christian can cash in his title whenever he wants, so he's going to pick a spot and steal this title.
Man, I mean, he is hurt. He needs his neck fixed. This guy's been hurt forever. You know, and man, if Christian beats him and wins the title, that's a lot of heat. But is that like, I don't want to see this heat, or is it like, oh, you dastardly heel, how could you do this? And then what happens? Does this lead into, you know, Adam Copeland returning and beating Christian and winning that title and becoming world champion?
Maybe eventually.
I don't know.
But I think Danielson needs to hold on to his belt for at least 6 months, right?
No, that's not. I can't see that.
You don't think he's going to hold on to it for half a year?
I don't think so, man. I think before the year's over. But again, that's not me knowing anything. That's just me feeling.
Okay.
You know, that's just me feeling something.
Okay.
I don't. I mean, listen, I wanted to hold the title forever. So I'm a little biased here. I could tell you that I'm very biased for Bryan Danielson. I really enjoy him as champion. I really enjoy watching him wrestle. I'm curious what this is going to do to TV ratings, if this is going to change anything, and who's coming back to challenge him. You know, these are all really good questions. I think that first opponent for him is going to really matter, though. You can't have it be another Kane angle.
Right. It's got to, but you know it's going to be good. It doesn't matter who it is. It's going to be awesome. What if it's Okada? What if you get Danielson Okada again?
Oh, dude, I would love it.
Yeah. Let's see. We got a Tekken Sports super chat. Number 1. Great. A lot of folks in the chat are saying 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Hassan Albana says, as a West Asian, it's so fun to watch a pay-per-view live at night instead of dawn, which, yeah. All wrestling should be early.
What else do we have here?
Do you think, this is from Big Man Dogs, do you think Christian should have cashed in right after the main event?
No, absolutely not. You want people to go home happy.
Okay.
You want them to go home happy. That's really what it comes down to.
There is a Tekken Sports here. My question is, Warner Brothers Discovery is the television partner for AEW in India. Can we get AEW live event in India?
I think it's the logistics that make it very expensive. So I don't know if that'll happen. You know, WWE was planning on traveling to India a bunch, and that it's sporadic. I think the logistics of the travel is part of the issue.
Well, also didn't at that time when they did that massive India show, wasn't Great Khali involved and he like sold out wherever they were like tremendously?
No, it wasn't. No, it was Jinder, right? They were banking it on Jinder.
They did another one for Jinder later on. Yeah.
Is that the one? Is that the one that Jinder was the champion and he held the title and Khali took it from him and he held the title in his hands and then you remember that?
So yeah. Khali was like the guest on that one. This is from Boris. Are AEW aware of the backlash online about Saraya and her pay cut?
Also pay cut? No, Ronnie Saraya. Ronnie, her boyfriend, that's the musician.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently he said some bad words that people got upset at online.
Oh.
So I don't know. I didn't follow this story. I have no idea. I don't. Everybody says dumb crap occasionally. I don't know. I don't know anything about them or their relationship.
This is from Matt James. Do you think we'll get Danielson Nigel at All Out?
Yeah, if you're going to do it, I mean, that's a great match to do it All Out. People would be very invested into seeing that because they built a program for over a year. So I think you got to get it out of the way before anything bad happens, right? So that's All Out. What's the next pay-per-view?
Oh, I'm not 100%.
We got All Out. We got Full Gear. We got Wrestle Dream. And we got World's End.
Yeah.
Okay. That's in October.
This is from Eddie Gomez. Any update on when Lucha Brothers and Motor City Machine Guns debut? And guys like Wardlow, Miro, Malachi Black, Keith Lee, and Ricky Starks, will they jump ship to WWE?
I think Lucha Bros in WWE will be tremendous for them. They'll do great. I don't know what the story with Miro is. He's a fascinating case study for AEW because they didn't really. It was so much stop and go. It was so much of him not on TV. When he was on TV, he's great.
Yeah,
the Redeemer. Weird, right? Remember like the best friend gimmick that he had?
Yeah,
and he was video game buddies.
Yeah,
and he was the best man.
Yeah, that's right. He was the best man. He went from it's really interesting how wrestling works. This guy goes from coming out at WrestleMania on a tank to fight John Cena to being like a video gamer. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I would love to see something with Miro. I don't know what he's going to do. He probably could go back to WWE and be in a great position there.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%. He's a great wrestler. He left due to frustration more than anything else, and I think now it's a very different opportunity there.
Yeah, no, I'll agree with that. But yeah, you never know. You can't quantify as much as you like a wrestler. You can't quantify what's going on inside.
Yeah.
Would you want to see Danielson and Nigel happen at Wrestle Dream?
I was told a match, okay? I don't know if that's the match.
Okay.
I think Nigel should happen now. I think Nigel should, like on Wednesday, should come out and start trashing Danielson.
Sooner than later, right?
Sooner than later. Like, you got to get... Because remember, it's in people's minds. You want to wait another month to do this.
Yeah.
Maybe Nigel and Christian come up with some sort of plot. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't think it should. I think they should do it immediately.
Yeah, I agree with you. On that one. Let's see here. This is from Amdrag. You said about media deal being imminent. Any more details?
Nope, that's it. That's the latest that I have. I have no other information. That I know that the attorneys are looking at it. I know that it's a very detailed contract. It's very long. Yeah. Everybody wants this done, and it will be done. It just depends on your corporate stuff happening. These things
here's a good one.
Sometimes they take a while, but I expect it done soon. I mean, I said imminent, and that's the word that I was used to me. So,
yeah, imminent. It's gonna happen, guys.
Eminent domain. Someone's
There you
taking it. That's what I meant. It's eminent domain.
Here's a good one that I think we should end on.
Yeah.
Lo-Fi Lit. What did you think of JBL and GCW?
Okay. Fantastic. How it's I like when someone debuts, like when Sid debuted in ECW, right? He doesn't fit there.
Oh yeah.
JBL does not fit in GCW. He murdered Effie.
Yes.
Murdered Effie. So are they gonna have a match?
Oh, I would love that. Just one last match. He should. He looked
Effie
like
versus
too.
JBL.
I'd be into that.
He clotheslined him straight to hell.
Yeah.
Really. Who's the other one? Oh yeah, Jinder. Yeah, Jinder was there.
That's right. Well, GCW does they do. I think after the Cardona thing, they're just like, ooh, let's put these odd puzzle pieces into our roster and see what happens.
Cardona worked big time for them.
Yeah,
and it heightened
Cardona
that company.
Huge.
Yeah, and heightened that company. Yeah, very cool stuff.
Yeah,
wrestling's fun, man. Wrestling's a lot of fun. I want to see what they do tomorrow. We also have a pay-per-view on Saturday, which is another afternoon pay-per-view. Battle in Berlin. The Bash in Berlin. Isn't it the Bash in Berlin? Why did you write Battle in Berlin? The year is 1939. The battle for Berlin has begun. The Allied troops have begun to march eastward. Someone fell asleep watching the History Channel.
It's the Bash in Berlin. Jeez, that's this weekend, right?
That's this weekend. You have Gunther and Randy Orton for the WWE title. You have the undisputed champion Cody going up against Kevin Owens. You have a mixed tag match: Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley against Dominic and Liv. You have a strap match with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. WWE Women's Tag match: Unholy Union versus Bianca and Jade. All right, it'll be a nice quick show. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches. Unless there was something announced yesterday that I did not see on this. And then NXT's on Sunday. More wrestling. Give me all your wrestling.
Yeah. Give me all the wrestling.
All right, guys. That's it for this week. I'm out the door. I'm headed to Arthur Ashe. I'm going early to Grand Slam.
Enjoy.
I'm just going to wait there. Huh?
Are you gonna wear
this is what I'm wearing. I'm wearing short shorts and a button down.
It's gorgeous outside, by the way.
Oh, perfect. Awesome.
So, enjoy.
Goodbye, everybody. See you next